Hey everyone, Jim, Homespark Knife Sharpening. We've got a new toy today that we're gonna... You'd think someone who sharpens knives would have a pocket knife to do this, wouldn't you? I know I got one around here somewhere. I'm gonna have to find it. But in the meantime, I'll use one of my shop knives. This is one of my test knives that I use. So we get this all set and get this open. Show you what we got. This is the Gen 3 Xarilk knife sharpener. So we're going to open this up and we're going to set it up and we're going to do our first knife and see how it all works. I had somebody bring me in a Japanese style knife that was brand new, and right out of the box it was not sharp. So he brought it to me, asked me if I could sharpen it. So here, Xarilk, I believe is how you say that. So we'll go ahead and start pulling all this wonderful stuff out. Put those over there. And they do have this packed in nicely. I'll have to see what those are for. I wonder if those could be used on the clamps maybe. Okay, so here's the base. That's where we're starting, is with the base. And this slides on the base like so, and this little lever locks it down, and we have no play in this at all, which is good. Screws, if you want to screw the base down, which I'm not going to do right now. Don't know if I will or not. Here's the stones that they send with it. You got a 320, an 800, and a 2000 stone. This goes in here. Let's see if this goes all the way down here. I gotta look and see. Here we go. Okay. So that goes in there. This is the rod for the sharpener. Oops. Losing parts. Does that go in there? Not sure. It might be. Oh, that came from over here. Okay, so this one came from over here. Select down. This is the spring. A couple of new things that they've done from previous versions, even though it's still a Gen 3. Yeah, the screw came out too. So, let's see which way is this going in here. It's going in this way. So I'm going to get that. If I can, get that started. So at least we don't lose the screw for this. Okay. These go together this way. Now let's see, do I have to put that through here first? I believe I do. So I believe this has to go through like so. I suppose this probably, I gotta look. That might actually come off. That tightened all the way down. Do the thumb screw. So one of the things they've done is with the stones, they used to have a plastic backing. Now they're actually a metal backing. And the reason they changed that is because of the tension on this. It was actually bowing the stones. So you had to kind of play around to get the stone actually to sit flat in here. Now they put a metal backing on it so we don't have to worry about the bowing anymore. The other thing I noticed that they're doing differently now is this used to be completely round. So when you set it down off to the side, it could roll around. Now it's got flat edges on it, so it's not going to just roll away on you, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to have to see if... Yeah, it's going to be pretty close to hitting my other machines here. I might have to back those off a little more. Just move over. Okay, so that's it, gang. That's about all there is to setting the machine up. Now, here's the deal. These are the clamps that come with it. The clamps, simply unscrew these. I'm good at dropping things, so I'm trying to, there we go. You go on here, and then you screw them in. Okay. Here's how this whole thing started. A couple of weeks ago, I was watching Paul over at ALX Sharpening and Laser Engraving, and he had a giveaway on some Tsprof clamps, and surprisingly, I actually won the giveaway. So I thought, okay, well, I'll enter, and if I get them, I'm going to have to get the machine. So the Tsprof itself is actually quite expensive compared to this one, and I really wanted to try out a guided system to see if I liked it before I made the commitment to, I think it's like $450 or something like that for the Tsprof. This one was right around $100. So these are the Tsprof clamps, which are about 150 bucks, I believe. So, but the advantage to these Tsprof clamps is that you don't have your Allen wrench or whatever to tighten your knives down. It actually has this lever to tighten them down, which is really convenient. Excuse the engine noise. That's actually one of our lawn mowing guys. They're mowing the lawns out here today. So you may hear some various noises going on. So we're going to set these Tsprof clamps in here. So that's about equal distance right there. So these Tsprof clamps, you simply open them up, you slide your knife in, like so. That's not quite tight enough. If you need to tighten down, you just go around like this. There you go. Nice and snug. That one's not quite there. We'll go around once. And tighten it down. And there you go. That baby is in there. It's not going anywhere. So that is how you put these in with the Tsprof clamps, which really is very convenient and very quick. There's a lever on the side here. They just pull open. You can flip your knife over, clamp it back, and you're ready to go. So we are going to set up a knife. And the other thing I got that I'll show you real quick is one more package. I went ahead and I got a package. I got this on Amazon. I got a package that you can get just this with the 3 stones. I got, I guess you'd call it an upgraded package that has these, which is a set of stones. It's an extra 6 stones. Has a 180, 400, 800, 1500, 2000, and 3000. So that way I got extra stones to work with. These look like they might be plastic backed. So we'll have to see on these if I'm going to have any bowing. If we do, I'll show you how you can take care of that. It's not a huge deal, but I know with the original machine now they're sending the metal ones. So, okay. So let's go ahead and get set up with a knife. Here's this brand new knife. Came in the box. Not very sharp. So we're going to go ahead and sharpen that and see how everything works. There is somewhat of a sharpness to it, but I'm going to go ahead and start with the 320 anyway and get my angle set and everything else. In fact, I'll probably throw this this 800, what's the other, 2000? I'll probably throw the 2000 in there and make sure I got the right angle first. Then we'll actually start sharpening with the 320. So, okay. So a second here, we'll get going. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, just primarily because it's a brand new knife, I want to protect it just in case. We're going to have the knife in here about like so. So I'm going to put some painter's tape on here at the clamping points, just so that I'm sure that we're not going to scratch the knife since it's brand new. And we do have to widen this out, I think, 1 turn. And that is tight. So we're good. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take this 2000 stone. We'll put that in here. And this is all just spring loaded. So we load it in like so. Tighten these down. And then let me grab my marker and we're going to find the angle on this. Okay, so I'm going to start. Now that I got this all together, let me a little bit so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Like so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my marker, and this has got a really tiny bevel on it. And I'm wondering just how steep they ground this at to get that tiny of a bevel. So I'm going to take this, put it here, and I can tell you right now we're way too flat. So I'm going to undo this. We're going to start increasing the angle. I really want to be more than I need. So we're going to go down here. Not quite there. Flatten it out just a little bit. Nope, Flatten it out a little bit more. That's actually pretty darn close. Let's just go a little more. That's almost exactly where they're at. Okay, so let's see where we're at with this. Now we'll take our angle guide, and what you see most people doing is they're taking this and they're putting it here and they're zeroing it out. Okay, so there it's zeroed out. Then they're putting it on your clamp. And I'm trying to think with these Tsprof clamps, I don't know. Yeah, these are perfectly flat, so we can run it right up here. See, it says 3.15, and then here 5.18, 5.1. That is not an 8 degree. Okay, so we're zeroed there, right? 0. Okay, so that is not going to work. We're going to have to be back here for the angle, I think is what the deal is. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we can't go on the clamp. So we're 13, 9, 5.5, 14 and 5.5 is 19.5. So that's where they have this thing, and 19.5 is pretty high for this kind of a knife. I really would rather be down around 16 or 15 on this knife. So I need to go down about 6 degrees or so. So we're gonna eleven and a half. 5, 16, almost there. We're almost at 16. Let's just go a little more. Oops. Might help if I went the right way. So let's take this down to 11 if we can. Right there. $11.1 is close enough. And 6 is 17. Almost. Okay. So now we're at, say, 9.5. And 6.5 is 15, 16. So let's write it about a 16. Make sure I got this nice and tight down here. and now we're at about a 16. So yep, looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and we will go to the 320. We'll start with that. On this one, I didn't want to mark this up. So okay, so here's the 320 stone. And you can do these dry, or you can do them with a little oil. And I think I might try it with a little oil. I think what I'm going to use is and that bevel's looking pretty good. I'm already starting to get a burr on this. Yep, we got a burr all the way across. So let's flip over to the other side. Of course, this is my first time using a stone like this. I've seen a lot of guys going a lot faster than what I'm doing here, but I'm just going to take my time. Yep, we got a burr all the way down. So we're going to flip the knife back over again. And we're going to go to the 800. Okay. And we'll go again. One thing you do have to be careful of is when you get over to the edge, to the point, I want to make sure you're not rolling over the edge with this. That'll give you a pretty dull point. So when I get over the edge, I'm going about halfway across the stone and stopping, so we don't roll over the edge. Now at this point, I don't know. Oh yeah, very little, but you can still feel the burr. So let's go ahead and flip this over. And I can see where mounting this would be a help. I think if I were doing a knife, an already well-used knife, and I'll probably start doing this from like scratch, I think I would go ahead and use some mineral oil. To yeah, I think we're there. So I'm going to go ahead and go right to the .2000 stone. Let's see if this polishes up. Remember, this is my first time using a system like this. So barely feel like a little bit of a burr there. Okay, so I think we did it. The bevel looks nice and even all the way across this, which is actually pretty impressive. So what I want to do before I take it out of the clamp, just in case we're not where we want to be, let's see. Not impressed. There it goes. Okay, probably feels like it needs a little bit of honing. So I'm going to do this on the clamp. And this is not normally the way I would do it, but being as it's my first time with the machine, I want to make sure that I'm getting it the way I've got it. I don't want to have to start from scratch resharpening. So let's try that. Wipe off the edge a little bit. Yep. That sure feels like it's cutting good. Yep, I like it. So let's go ahead and flip this over. I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the clamps. And we're going to test it this way. Yep, I'm liking it. Again, I've got soggy paper, which doesn't help, but I can feel that it's cutting well. Point's good. See, it's the entry and it's the sogginess of the paper. So yeah, I'm liking the way this is cutting. Nice. You should be very happy with that. So, let's go ahead and finish this up. We'll take our tape off. Get our microfiber towel. Let me back you guys out again. Oops, sorry. Back you guys out again so you can see what I'm doing. You know, I don't know if you saw that paper being cut. So let me show you once again. I don't always hit everything on those camera angles. See? So we're cutting really well with this. So we'll go ahead. Clean it up with some isopropyl alcohol. There we go. What a nice looking knife. So I get this back in the box for him. Feel some grit on the bottom of this box. Probably from sitting on my bench. I'll put this back in here for him. I'm not going to use this sheath since he's got the box. So I'll put it back in there for him. And we call the customer, tell him his knife is done. I do like the way that works. Right now, a little slow, but that's to be expected when you go to a manual system. That's going to be a little slower. And I obviously have not built up any speed with this yet, which over time I think I will. But yeah, I like the way it works. Feels good. Did a good job. The bevel is nice and like polished. With that 2000 stone, it has a nice shine to it. So I'm very happy with this. Guys, if you want any more information, let me know. Comment down in the comments what you think. And we'll move on to our next video. Should be getting some more knives in. And maybe we'll do some of them on this. We'll see what happens. I could certainly see, like especially like this knife, brand new, out of the box. I'd rather do it like this than on the belts. Just I think this gives a smoother, more polished edge than my belts would do. I think it just looks better. I don't know per se that it's any sharper, but it certainly looks nicer. And I do like the way the system works. And I don't have to worry about marking up a new knife if I make a mistake on the belt, which I haven't done in quite some time, and I don't intend on doing again. So Okay, guys, that's it for this one. If you have any comments on this, leave them down in the comment section, and we try to respond to all the comments. And we will see you guys in the next video.